Welcome back to Monster Tamer, a 2D Pokemon-like RPG created with Phaser 3. Previously, we worked on our battle scene polish and we focused on adding animations for our monsters. And so now when our monsters appear on our screen, we have this nice transition, and we also animate their health bars. We also added in animations for when the monsters take damage and for when they faint. If you missed the previous videos, there'll be links in the description to the source code up to this point, as well as the complete source code for this video. There'll also be a link to the previous videos if you'd like to catch up. So let's get started. Alright, so with our new monster animations in place, what we're going to do next is we're going to add in support for skipping these animations. So we're going to add in functionality that's similar to like what we did for when we animate our text. We'll be able to skip doing the full animation if a value is set. And so this is going to help us while we're testing, so then that way when we want to test various pieces of our code, we don't have to wait for all those animations to play. Likewise, later on when we add in our option scene, we'll be able to add in an option to allow players to skip battle animations, and then that way when they're battling, they can get through battles quicker, similar to like the functionality exists in Pokemon games. And so to support this functionality, the first thing we need to do is we need to expose a configuration that we can use in our game for the time being. And so what we'll do is let's come over to our source code, and at the root of our source folder, let's add in a new file. And we're going to call this config.js. And we're going to use this file for any configurations that'll be used throughout our code base. So this will be good for const. And so what we're going to do is export a const variable called skip battle animations. And we're going to set this to true. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this variable and we're going to pass it to the various places that we play animations. So what we'll do is let's jump over to our battle scene and we will start there. So what we'll do is let's come down to our state machine and we'll make our code bigger. And basically anywhere we are currently calling our update info pane messages and wait for input, we're going to go ahead and pass in that value. So after our callbacks, what we're going to do is we are going to provide our skip battle animations variable. And so what I'm going to do is we're just going to do a search for this code. So we'll find our next instance. After our callback, we'll add in our variable. Same thing here. And then here as well. And then we just need to go ahead and update our instances where we don't have to wait for input. So if what we do is we come down to our state machine, we should have our player monster. So we'll have our update info pane message with no input required. After our callback, we'll add in our skip battle animations, and then we're just going to check for other references. And we got one more here. And then we have one more here in our enemy attack. Alright, so if we jump over to our battle menu, what we'll want to do is we'll come down to where we have some of our text set for our menu options. So if we come down to our handle player choose main battle option, what we'll want to do is in our update info pane here, after our callback, we'll also want to reference our skip battle animations, and then we'll do that for each of our menu items. And then what we'll do is we'll just make sure we have all references. All right, so let's go ahead and save. So now we should be able to test our changes. All right, so if we come over to our web browser, we should be able to test our changes. And so we'll see right away after our monsters appear, we'll see our text appears and there's no longer animation. All right, so what we'll want to do next is we'll also want to extend this functionality to our monsters, and that we can skip those animations. So what we're going to want to do is let's go into our source code, and we're going to go into our type definitions for our monster battle monster configuration. And what we want to do is we're going to add a new property for allowing us to skip our battle animations. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and add this here. And so for our new property, it's going to be a Boolean flag. We'll make it optional and we'll set it to false. And so we're going to call it skip battle animations. And so basically this value will be used for skipping all animations tied to our monster. So this will be like when they appear, they take damage, but also our attack animations that we'll be adding later. All right, so now we've added that into our config. What we want to do is come to our battle scene and let's go up to where we define our monsters. And inside our configuration, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add in our properties. We'll have skip battle animations and we'll reference our skip battle animations global config, and we'll copy this line here. We'll come down to our player monster and we'll add that there as well. And so now we're passing it into our monster class. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and store a reference to that. So if we go into monsters, let's go into our base battle monster class. And what we're going to go ahead and do is let's go into our constructor and we're going to go ahead and store a reference set to on a new property. So what we'll do is we'll make a new property. We'll make it protected and we're going to do skip battle animations and we'll set that equal to our config and we'll do our skip battle animations. And now we're going to go ahead and add in our value, default value if it's not provided, so we'll set it to false. Then let's come up here. Let's go ahead and just copy this logic here. Go ahead and paste. We'll add in our property name and we're going to change this to a Boolean. All right, so now that we're storing a reference to our property, what we need to do is actually update our animations to check to see if this is set to true. And if so, we're going to go ahead and invoke our callbacks in our animation. So if we can come down to our play take damage animation, what we're going to do is we will go ahead and add in our checks. We'll do this, our skip battle animations. And so if it's set to true, what we'll do is we're just going to copy our logic here. So we're just going to set our alpha to 1. We'll do our callback, and then we're going to go ahead and return early, so then that way we don't actually do our tween. And then what we need to do is now we need to go into our individual monster classes and add in that same functionality. So if we come up a little bit, let's go ahead and start with our play monster appear animation. And so what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and paste in our code. So we'll have our check. And then what we want to do is instead of updating our alpha, we want to go ahead and update our X position. So we're going to do set X, and we need to set this to our N position. And then that way our enemy monster will be at the position we expect it to be in. Let's go ahead and copy this code again. We're going to come down to our next method. It'll be our health bars. So we'll go ahead and paste. And so instead of our phaser game object, we'll have our health bar, we'll have our end position, and then finally let's come down to our death animation, and instead of doing set X, we actually want to do set Y, and we'll have our end Y position, and we need our phaser game object in this instance. All right, so if we save, we should be able to go ahead and test our changes. As we come over to our scene, let's go ahead and refresh, and we'll see right away our enemy monster and our enemy health bar appears right away. And so if we want to go ahead and test the death animation, what we'll do is just jump over to our battle scene, and for our player monster, let's go ahead and bump up our attack to 25. We will go ahead and do an attack. And we'll see right away our enemy monster dies and we end our scene. So let's change this to 15. And that way we'll take some damage. And then we don't see the damage animation. Alright, so what we want to do now is let's jump over to our player monster scene. And we're going to want to do the same logic. So if we open up our player battle monster, what we'll do is we'll start with our death animation. We'll have the same logic here. Then for our health container, we should have the same logic. So let's come up. And then finally for our game object itself, for when the monster appears, we'll have our same logic. All right, so if we go ahead and save, we'll see right away when our scene refreshes, we have both monsters. We have our health bars. We display our Go monster text. And then we go ahead and transition right into our player input. And if we go ahead and attack, we'll see right away we're not playing our animations there either. All right, so one last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fix a few bugs that we have in our battle menu. So we can come to our battle menu class. What we want to do is come down to our update info pane with message method, and we need to fix two things. The first one is when we do our queued messages skip animation, one of the things we're not doing is we're not playing our input cursor animation. So when we skip our animation for animating the text, and we still want to prompt the player for input. So what we should be doing is actually playing our input cursor, and then that way when they provide input, then we proceed. The other piece we want to do is we need to actually get rid of our logic that's tied to this callback here. So because we are waiting for the player to provide input, we need to make sure that that input is actually received, and we don't invoke our callback too early. Otherwise, what could happen is when we have two messages, we're only going to do one, and we automatically go ahead and do the callback instead of showing that second message line. All right, we'll go ahead and save. All right, so now we finished adding in our logic for skipping our monster and our text animations. That actually brings this video to an end. In our next video, we're going to continue working on our battle scene polish, and we're going to focus on adding in custom font support. So we'll be loading in custom fonts that were created by Kenny, and we'll be using the web font loader to go ahead and load these and use them in our phaser game. So as a reminder, there is a link in the description of the video to the complete source code for this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking the video and hitting the bell icon to be notified when the next video in this series is released. For more great Phaser 3 content, please see some of the links on your screen now.